So let's take a look at some of the key moments at the Senedd this week. Rhun Ap Iorweth calling out London Labour failure, Yes Cymru demanding the devolution of the Crown Estate, and Sioned Williams MS raising the appalling levels of child poverty that we've got here in Wales. So I'm going to start with the Plaid Cymru debate tabled on the UK government. So this was a motion moved by Plaid leader Rhun Ap Iorweth, and he opened it by saying it's been a year since the Labour government in London took power under Keir Starmer, and how disappointing this last year has been, which I think is a fair comment. And he gave a pretty brutal rundown on their failure in terms of Wales, whether that's failure on fair funding, Labour's double standards on the steel industry, as we saw with Port Talbot, or Labour MPs voting against devolving the Crown Estate, or their failure generally in terms of progressing devolution. And that's before we even get started on issues like the winter fuel allowance chaos and the disability benefits shambles. So safe to say, Labour didn't like it and things got a bit spicy. Let's take a look.
I will always make the case, and so should Labour members here, that the current status quo with the United Kingdom is letting Wales down week after week, month after month, year after year. And if we haven't seen that from the actions of a Labour government over the past 12 months, when will people learn?
I would like to hear the contribution from the leader of the Plaid Cymru, and I can't because there's so much noise going on elsewhere.
Yeah, the noise is getting louder, isn't it? On our needs as a nation not being fulfilled by a UK government, be it a current Labour government or former Labour and Conservative governments that completely fail to grasp the needs of our nation and the needs to stand up and fight day in, day out for addressing those needs. And yes, making the case for how we can reach our potential as a nation.
And Plaid aren't the only one fed up with Westminster. Yes Cymru held a demonstration at the Senedd last week calling for the devolution of the Crown Estate, which would allow Wales to benefit from the wealth being generated by our own natural resources. Their campaign resulted in all 22 councils right across Wales agreeing to back the devolution of the Crown Estate. That is quite an achievement to get all of the councils to agree on pretty much anything at all. And it shows what a no-brainer this is. Of course, it should be devolved. But London Labour said, are we surprised? And lastly, Plaid Cymru Senedd member Sioned Williams spoke passionately about the appalling levels of child poverty here in Wales and the impact of the two-child benefit cap.
In Wales, we have been among those who have paid the highest price for Westminster's willful and deliberate neglect of our people. And these were the people who were promised change last year by Labour. They were promised fairness. They were told that a new day was dawning after a long, dark night. But a year into this so-called partnership between Welsh and UK Labour, what do the people of Wales truly have to show for it? Broken promises, and more people being pushed into poverty and hardship. Nothing crystallises the cold and calculated callousness of austerity politics like the two-child limit and benefit cap. It's a shameful policy, a deliberate political choice to deny support to some of the poorest in our society, the poorest children in our society, simply because of how many siblings they have. The consequences are devastating and disastrous for Wales. This policy doesn't save money. It deepens already unacceptably high levels of poverty, and it has no place in any society that claims to care about fairness or the well-being of children.
So after a year of Labour government in London, what's your verdict? There's your Senedd recap for this week. Diolch yn fawr.